need to turn the mics on.
Turn your mics on.
Okay, in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided and advertised. If you'd all stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Have you all had time to review the minutes from last month's meeting?
Yep, I have a question
Okay, sure.
about 303 South Broadway.
Okay.
The sentence that says Vice Chairman Attore, motion, second by Commissioner York, to approve, and I think it's missing the removal of the Bradford pear.
Okay.
So I think that just needs to be inserted in,
Remove a Bradford pear that has a lot of diabetes.
to approve the Bradford pear.
Right. Okay. So noted. Any other corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we pass the minutes from last month's meeting
Pass it as corrected.
as,
Second.
Yeah, motion to pass the minutes as corrected.
and Carol has seconded?
Yep.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Against? Pass.
The roll.
Yes. Lauren, would you do roll call, please? Were you ready for that? I thought I mentioned it too. Well, Carol, you do it
I'll
this
do
time, then,
roll.
then you can, next time.
Okay, just follow me, Lauren. Jay is excused. Shane?
I can't vote.
No, but roll call.
Oh,
are
I'm
you
here.
here?
I'm sorry. I thought that was based on the minutes. Excuse me.
George A.
Yes. Oh, here. I'm getting confused.
Barbara?
We're here.
Here.
You're here.
George W.
Here.
Joel?
Here.
Jim?
Here.
Tracy is excused, Frank is excused, and Carol Sick are excused, along with Jay.
Okay. All right, we've already approved the minutes from last month's, the last meeting, which was actually in September.
So we do have a
And
quorum.
we're going to do the,
We have a quorum.
yes, we do have a quorum. I think we should hear from Solicitor Gillen Schwartz first.
Good afternoon, members. Chris Gillen Schwartz, City Solicitor. I wanted to come and talk to you all about the proposed changes to the shade tree ordinance, and this was in connection with a lot of discussions with the subcommittee, Mr. Attore, Mr. Warner, and Mr. Meyer as council liaison. Just talking about, I think the genesis of this discussion was about landmark trees. And we currently have specimen trees in the current ordinance, and the idea of establishing a landmark tree process and what that might look like, and then the concept of a tree bank. And both of those concepts are reflected in the draft that's before the Shade Tree Commission. In addition, an item that you didn't necessarily ask for, but I took the liberty of making some suggestions in here about strengthening and improving our review process, and not necessarily doing an overhaul, but trying to have the ordinance better reflect the review process that you have in place, and taking into consideration the concerns that the Shade Tree Commission appears to be taking into consideration when it's reviewing these applications, and kind of organizing that in a way that hopefully you could, if anybody is ever confused, whether it's an applicant or a new member, or maybe an old member that may be out of the loop for whatever reason, could sort of serve as a North Star for what the Shade Tree Commission is doing at every one of its meetings when these applications come before them. So I'll get to that in a second, but I'll just go through and outline the changes in here. So one of the, we previously had a specimen tree, or currently have a specimen tree designation in the code, but not a lot of information as to, it's really tied to size, but given the city's interest in historic characteristics and other factors, I proposed a definition in here that allows the Shade Tree Commission to make a designation either on public or private property, and based on A, physical, biological criteria, so size, age, species significance, B, cultural, historical criteria, maybe there's a historical association, or just community value, recognizing, that may be old Mrs. Jones' tree, and she contributed to the community and planted during childhood, just giving an example of something like that. C, ecological and environmental criteria, so even if those other characteristics aren't applicable, you might look at habitat value, aesthetic landscape contribution, and providing that any resident, property owner, or member of the Shade Tree Commission can nominate a tree for designation. And then what that would trigger is the Shade Tree Commission evaluating the nomination, and formal consideration and a vote for designation would take place in public at a regular meeting of the Shade Tree Commission, and the public would have an opportunity to participate and comment. And then once it's approved, you would have a landmark tree registry that would be an available resource. So, be available on the website, hopefully, that you could just, see what landmark trees are out there. And then finally, because private property trees are regulated and may be subject to a landmark designation, if it's on private property, you want to have an avenue to give notice to the private property owner before that designation is made, so that they might have an opportunity to participate and comment. Maybe say, oh, it's not so important, or maybe they say it's a great idea, but at least giving the private property owners and making sure they have an opportunity to participate and comment before that designation is made. There's a clarification in here about the existing tree specialist and the intent that they act as a professional resource to the Shade Tree Commission. Obviously, I've watched a number of your meetings. It's not, tree specialist isn't like sitting here like maybe a planning board or zoning board engineer may at every meeting, but having that as a professional resource on an as-needed basis, I think, is the intent there, and all that's doing is clarifying that. Throughout here, we're just removing some references to significant specimen trees and replacing it with the more broader and more defined landmark tree definition that we just went over. Confirming in here, in the event that emergency removal is authorized, we already have a procedure in place for that there's no application fee or replacement mitigation requirement in connection with removal. Again, these are all suggested comments that the board should all consider together, but those are the suggestions. Confirming that the application fee is non-refundable, and then getting to the heart of the matter, which is the grant or denial of permit and the standards. So what this does is we currently have standards in place. It's not like the Shade Tree Commission doesn't have a standard for review, but this really, I think, spells it out clearly and sets expectations for board members, for city staff, and for applicants. What am I getting myself into when I make an application to the Shade Tree Commission? What do I have to present? And it might organize these applications in a way that may seem chaotic to somebody that has never navigated the experience or moved here from a place that doesn't have a Shade Tree Commission. They're like, what, you regulate private property trees? They didn't do that in my hometown. Well, City of Cape May is different. And by the way, if you have any questions about it, you should be able to read in the code how it works. And I think getting that message out there to applicants in the code is just as important to helping you guys work through efficiently the amount of applications that you do get. And it seems to be quite a bit at this point, because there's a lot happening in Cape May and has been for a few years now. So one, the removal criteria, and really this breaks it into two. And again, I've watched a number of your meetings. You have, sometimes it's so clear that it's that whether it is removed is very clear based on the particular circumstances, but it may not be clear to the audience. But this kind of outlines why it might be so clear and why some of those, some are close calls and others not. So there's a removal criteria and the replacement criteria. So starting with the removal criteria, the Shade Tree Commission's going to evaluate, first of all, no person's going to remove or cause to be removed any tree without first obtaining a permit from the Shade Tree Commission. That exists today. That's not new. It's just restating that. All applications shall satisfy both the removal criteria and then two, move on to the replacement mitigation criteria. If you don't meet the first criteria, you don't get to the second. So you really got to go 1 and 2. And for the removal criteria, the Shade Tree Commission is going to evaluate each application for removal by considering the following factors, some of which may weigh in favor of removal and others against it. And it indicates next to each which weighted portion it is. So 1, whether a tree's dead, diseased, structurally unsound, or poses an imminent hazard to persons or property, that weighs in favor of removal. Whether it causes an unavoidable conflict with utilities, sidewalks, or public infrastructure that cannot be reasonably mitigated, again weighing in favor of removal. The tree's age, size, species, including whether it's invasive, non-native, or of limited habitat value, weighing in favor of removal, versus whether it is native, mature, or high ecological, historical, or cultural significance, weighing against removal. The location of the tree, including whether it's highly visible from the public right-of-way or contributes to the neighborhood character, weighing against removal, versus whether it's minimally visible or hidden from public view. In that case, it will weigh in favor of removal. Whether the tree is designated as a landmark tree, that would be considered against removal. Whether pruning, treatment, or other reasonable management techniques could preserve the tree in place as an alternative to removal, weighing against removal. Nature and extent and quality of the proposed replacement and/or mitigation with robust replanting or mitigation plans, weighing in favor of removal, though not dispositive. So that determination is a balancing test, and that's supposed to give you like a framework and give applicants points to hit for the board. And the commission shall weigh the applicant's justification for removal against any proposed mitigation, against the public interest in preserving the tree. And it's going to be authorized only when you determine that the benefits for removal, including any proposed mitigation, outweighs the detriments. And this is very similar to a planning or zoning board context. There's always, nothing's perfect. You know, there's always going to be positives and negatives, but the board's job, just like those boards, is to weigh the positives. And if they outweigh the negatives, then you grant it. If not, then it's denied. And that'll be a very familiar standard and familiar terminology to applicants navigating those other boards. So, and it's always on the applicant. They bear the burden of demonstrating the sufficient justification under the criteria. It's not your job to get to a removal. It's the applicant's job to make a presentation to you that the benefits of removal outweigh the detriments. So, and this, I think, kind of like corrals that into an organized kind of checklist, but it's not like you count all these up and like, oh, they 4 out of 5. Like, they can be weighted. You know, it's not intended to be just like, oh, count these up and check, check, check. It's really just to give you a more organized way to look at each unique circumstance, because property is unique in New Jersey. Every property is going to be different. Every tree location and every application is going to be different. So what you do there is not always going to be like, oh, you have to do it over here. But this at least organizes it with some objective criteria that you can evaluate fairly each application to the next.
Does everybody understand that, what he's saying?
Pretty much. I mean, I read
Yeah.
It's a good framework, I think.
It's lending organization to what we, in the past, we were really relying on a set of rules that didn't seem to be written down.
Right.
That seemed to be legacy rules that were passed down from commission to commission to commission. What I think Councilor Gillen-Schwartz has done is put this in black and white for everyone to see, and here's the criteria. So it's really eliminating the flying by the seat of our pants.
The emotional aspect
Yes.
as well.
And it adds teeth to our mission.
Yes, sir.
It really puts, it may take, it's aimed towards taking out the emotion or maybe like the perceived subjectivity of some of this out of it. You know, and being able to point back to these and refer back to these in every one of your applications is going to strengthen your decision-making and the city's defense of that, ultimately. So if I could, I would just give you 2 brief examples of how this could play out in an application context. So example A is where removal might be warranted. You have a tree of 15-inch in diameter, invasive, non-native tree. The location's in the back corner of a private yard, not visible from the street, largely screened by existing buildings. The condition is it's structurally unsound with the large dead limbs overhanging a shed. The alternatives would be pruning, but would not eliminate the hazard as the main trunk is compromised. The applicant in that case may propose to replant 2 3-inch caliber native trees in the front yard where they would enhance the streetscape canopy. And in that case, if you weigh all the factors together, you don't have to, but you might find that the benefits of removal in that case outweigh any detriments. You know, you're getting some new canopy in replacement for a non-native dying tree, essentially. The counterexample is you might have a 25-inch diameter native mature species, prominent position in the front yard, fully visible from the public right-of-way, and contributing significantly to the neighborhood character. The condition of that tree could be healthy with no signs of disease or structural weakness, but you have sort of a situation where it might be inconvenient because it's raising some of the sidewalk, which you might view as that could be reasonably addressed through root-friendly sidewalk repair rather than just throwing the tree out with the bathwater at that point. And the mitigation proposal applicant offers to replant 3 smaller trees elsewhere on the property. I mean, that could still be a close call for the Shade Tree Commission. And in that case, you know, you might encourage applicants to get creative with their mitigation proposals. And we'll get to the mitigation in a second, but there is a combination, and this goes to the tree bank, the combination of replacement, full replacement, physical replacement of trees based on size. And then there is a mitigation fee in lieu of physical replacement, and those funds would go into the tree bank for the Shade Tree Commission's purposes of furthering tree preservation and those initiatives. So that's where there may be cases that it's on the line, and you know, encourage applicants to come up with a creative solution of, hey, this is a really important tree, it's a good resource, but you know, what you're proposing is, you know, roughly compensating for that loss to the tree canopy and to the ecosystem and to the aesthetics. And so really leaving that discretion to the Shade Tree Commission, but giving you the toolbox and the factors to consider to do that. So moving on to the replacement and mitigation criteria, there's a proposed table in here, and I'll tell you that the table in here is not something I came up with. It's from the NJDP's model tree ordinance. So the DBH diameter at breast height and replacement criteria is really drawing from that NJDP model ordinance that a lot of other towns have adopted as part of their Shade Tree Commission ordinances. So there is some foundation for this elsewhere throughout the state if you were to recommend and council were to adopt this. But one thing that's not in the NJDP ordinance but could be incorporated as part of this is you may, and we already have this in our current ordinance, but it's kind of just restating it here, is that you may have an application where the vegetation on that site is already kind of overwhelming or robust, and you may say, you know what, we don't need to like overplant this site. So why don't we do a mitigation fee in lieu of a physical replacement? And then you go to the table and what are they removing, and go to the DBH and the measurement, and it gives you a fee or a replanting schedule based on whatever category you choose. So you just go to the menu, go to the type of tree that's being removed, and then you go to the replacement obligation. And the applicant can make a proposal to you, and you can reject that, or you can modify it, or you can do some combination of that. Ultimately, the discretion would be with the Shade Tree Commission, but it gives some expectation here and allows applicants to make that a proposal to you and say, hey, you know what, I think it's overplanted. I got a landscaping architect that says the same thing. We think this would be good. We'd rather do a mitigation fee. What do you guys think? You know, and then you can balance all that against, what's going on the site. So that, again, preserves the circumstances where the general guidelines for replacement may be unworkable due to unique conditions, and in that case, the Shade Tree Commission can determine the appropriate replacement obligation. So this is a guideline that you're probably going to use in 9 out of 10 cases, but for the unique cases, you still have some flexibility here to craft a resolution. And then as part of that, that fee structure is tied to the tree bank. So you would establish a tree bank, and the mitigation fee funds that are collected would go into that new tree bank that you created. So,
Excuse me, Chris.
yep.
Would you talk about the value when it comes to mitigation, when it comes to trees? The value of the trees, if you want to offer them to pay into the tree bank?
So there, in this ordinance, there's a mitigation fee. You may be referencing the one in the statute that there's two tree values, really. So this one is establishing a local mitigation fee for replacement.
For replacement?
You're right, right. And then,
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm talking about based on what your new proposal is here, not on, pi r squared times whatever that is.
right, yeah. So that's the penalty calculation that's in the state statute. This is not necessarily as severe as that. This is just in lieu of replacing, if you have a tree that's DBH of 3 inches to just under 13 inches, you can either replant one tree with a minimum caliper of 3 inches, or you pay $300 per tree that is not replaced.
That's what I was getting.
And then the gradient goes up from there. Then you got to do 2 trees or 600, 3 trees. It's 300 times whatever the replacement is. So it just moves on from there. But again, you have the ability to craft a resolution based on whatever the circumstances are presented in the application. But this provides a good starting point and maybe the end point for most all applications that you deal with.
It certainly clarifies it.
Yeah. I do have a question about replacement alternatives. It's in section C, where it says the applicant can do the following or a combination thereof: plant replacement trees in a separate area approved by the Shade Tree Commission. What is that separate area? I mean, if I don't want to plant a tree on my property because I've had one cut down, I can go to his yard and plant a tree, or
No, well,
kind of vague?
Well, potentially, you could. What most likely, and what that was intended to really capture, is people that may replant, they may remove a tree in their yard, but there may be a strip of sidewalk in front that's vacant, and you may look at that and say, you know what, that might be a good spot for a tree. And it may not be their property, but it's adjacent and it's on a public right-of-way. And because the Shade Tree Commission has the authority to remove and approve those, you could, as part of that application, you say, you know what, if you're taking this off on your site, put it on the public right-of-way immediately in front, to give you the flexibility to do that.
Okay.
But I think that it should be something that we would have a say in as to where that tree
Well,
gets
it says
planted.
approved by the Shade Tree
Says
Commission.
approved by us.
So,
Otherwise, yes.
yeah.
Think of the example of an overplanted property, but the immediately adjoining public right-of-way is just a strip of grass. And you might say, you know what, I guess the site's overplanted, but a good replacement spot would be right in front of your house in a public right-of-way. And of course, you have the jurisdiction to do that there. So to give you the flexibility to problem solve those types of unique situations.
So should separate area be like public right-of-way instead of
Well,
too limiting?
I think keeping it the way it is leaves you to the discretion to determine that, because I'll give you another example. It may be the case that 2 neighbors get together and say, you know what, I'll take the tree over here. I think it would be good to have a natural barrier. And if the 2 of them present you, like they've sent in a letter consenting to that, that could be another alternative. That's probably going to be really rare, but I wouldn't want to foreclose that opportunity either.
Okay, thank you.
So that's, aside from, those are the main substantive changes and proposals. The only other, it looks like a major change in here, but really it's just a restatement trying to clarify the rules of the road between planning and zoning board, HPC, the interplay between the boards, and that's in 482.7. So I'm crossing out that entire paragraph, and it looks like a whole new world order in there, but really it's the same thing. And it's just to confirm, hopefully in more clear language, that, and this is for applicants and for the city's interaction with these, HPC doesn't override Shade Tree Commission. There may have been some confusion about that before. I don't think it's reasonable confusion, but some people think, oh, I got this approved here, the driveway goes there, I can take out a tree. It's like, hold on a second, you got to come to the Shade Tree Commission for the tree part. HPC is not mistaken about that, and they have a standard condition in their resolutions indicating that. However, given the more kind of robust review process and the planning considerations and the submittal process and all the professional review that goes into planning and zoning board applications, in order to not ping pong everybody around, it does make some sense. And because they review vegetation as part of the vegetation plan, it does make some sense to have some finality there, that if they're proposing a plan, a planning plan or removal plan as part of an application process, they can send that and get that approved finally by the planning and zoning board. But making sure that the Shade Tree Commission at least has the ability to review and comment, and the boards have the ability to review that prior to passing on the application. So applications that only require a construction permit or an HPC application, the tree determinations would be made here. If an application is if it's a subdivision, it's a, site plan application. If it's a zoning board application, and there's tree removal as a component of that, those boards could make a final decision on that, but after giving the Shade Tree Commission an opportunity to comment on the application, so they have that, whether it's a review letter or some other feedback from the Shade Tree Commission. So that's not really changing. It's just clarifying that in the code, restating it, hopefully in a clearer manner. And that's really the extent of the changes. I provided a resolution to your board secretary for you to consider as the Shade Tree Commission recommending this version to council, but you all can review and discuss whether that's what
Chris,
you
can we
want to do.
talk a little bit about the tree bank?
Sure.
Your idea on the tree bank is that, for example, on the mitigation fee, if an applicant doesn't want to plant a tree, doesn't want to take advantage to move the tree to another location, then that equation that's in there, listed in there in terms of what the fines or penalties could be, that would be the donation or the contribution into the tree bank.
So the fines and penalties would come in if somebody violated the tree ordinance, but the mitigation fee, which is what would be put in the in the tree bank, yes, is considered a last resort under the ordinance, but it's a last resort option where replacement or either on-site or off-site are not workable. All right, let's turn to the tree bank, and then whatever that amount is would then be deposited in the new tree bank fund.
Oh,
Thank you.
besides the tree. Okay.
And that's, the purpose is in there, but it's going to be a city account that it's going to be dedicated and used to plant, maintain, and replace trees in public spaces, provide for long-term canopy management in the city, and promote activities consistent with the City of Cape May's designation as a Shade Tree Commission. So really all the stuff that Shade Tree Commission does.
Thank you. Good.
Any further questions?
Any other questions, anybody?
No, I think it's great.
If there's no questions, perhaps-
Great
Thank you.
job.
Excuse me?
if there's no questions, perhaps we should talk about the resolution we'd like to pass.
So I prepared a simple resolution for the Shade Tree Commission to consider. It just indicates review of the ordinance that we just went over and discussed, and then that you would be recommending it to City Council for consideration for adoption. And then if it's adopted, I can, Councilman Meyer and I can bring it up to all of council.
Yes.
All right, well, I think it gives us a more concrete rubric to go by with making judgment calls and various things with all the trees. I think it certainly clarifies a lot of ambiguity that may have been there before, so I thank you for all that. And does anyone have any further questions on this? Should we entertain a motion to pass it at this point?
Sure, I'll make a motion to accept the revisions to the ordinance
Okay.
as presented.
I second it.
Seconded by Jim. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Well, let's do a roll call.
Roll call.
Okay, roll call. Carol York, yes. Carol Sick is excused, Jay is excused. George A.,
Yes.
George W.,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Barbara,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Tracy is excused. Motion carries.
so passed.
1, 2, 3, 6.
So just timing-wise, we typically don't introduce new ordinances towards the end of the year. So realistically, I would expect this to be on one of the first couple agendas for 2026. And I'm sure Councilman Meyer will keep you apprised of that, but we'll shoot for an early 2026 place on an agenda for council.
On a sidelong glance, on a practical standpoint, my colleague just put something in my ear, and I absolutely agree. I'd like to come up with some kind of summary handbook that we can put in our glove box. So while we're out, we're not flipping pages, that we have something that summarizes this right to the bullet points as opposed to all of the flowery legal language.
I totally agree with you. I was thinking right along those lines when it comes to the water bill. Put something out there that people know what we've been working on and what's new.
I agree.
Shane, when do the water bills go out?
Quarterly, but I don't know.
Yeah.
First quarter.
So it would have to be in the first quarter of next year. Not the last
We have to wait till it passes.
Right. That's what I mean.
Well, Shane, that's like the Q&A that I put together to put on the website.
Okay,
I don't know whether you can use that or
absolutely.
whether
Yeah,
it needs to be.
I would think,
Good.
So
Yeah.
I was going to bring this up under new business, but I can give this to Lauren and maybe she can put it on the website.
Okay.
Excellent.
And I think everyone has seen it. The only change that I made was adding our phone number and the email address. So it's the same as was,
as it was before.
yep.
I think that's a good idea. We need to get the word out so people are aware of, just where everything stands.
Thanks,
They
Chris.
can't say I didn't know.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mr. very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good job. Thank you. That was,
Very clear. Gives great direction for all the boards and commissions.
All right, we'll keep working on it with council, and we'll keep you posted.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks again, appreciate it.
Now, should we go through all the old appeals? Or,
We're also accepting donations for the tree bank.
not yet.
we'll have to do a fundraiser first. Matt, since you're here, do you have something you'd like to talk about? Do you have anything to present at this point? Sure. Okay,
Come on up.
come on. Yeah. No, has to be green.
Green.
There you go.
Matthew Notch, Top Notch Tree Care, 295 6th Avenue in West Cape May. Well, following up on Mr. Gillen Schwartz's comments, which were, I think, is really good in moving forward in a lot of points he had. I had a couple thoughts on what he mentioned was replacement tree value. I think he mentioned $300.
That's what we looked at it. Now, it goes by the size of the tree. So it increases. Carol, you have that schedule right there.
If I'm correct, I think all those numbers are in the state guidelines.
Yes.
Right, that's.
But it goes by,
I'm not s-
yes.
Yep.
So, for example, if it's got a DBH of 3 inches, then that would be a $300 tree replacement. If the DBH is 13 inches to 22 inches, it's $600 per tree. And it increases as the tree size goes up. So
Perfect.
For example, 23 inch to a 33 inch is 900 per tree. Anything greater than 33 is 1,200 per tree.
Or a certain amount of trees based on the
Or
size.
or replant 4 trees for the last
That
one.
makes, okay.
Replanting
I just
4
thought,
trees.
I heard 300.
No, that's what I asked Carol. I said, could I see that? Yeah, I asked that to her before. Yeah.
And then the other
it goes by the size.
thought I had going listed to Mr. Gillen Schwartz was about construction damage on trees. And that's, talking to Mickey Riggins, who's consulting arborist. The majority of trees that die is from construction damage that could have been avoided. So I don't know how much communication there is with this board and like the planning and zoning board. For example, there was a large, I grew up on Washington Street, there was one of the largest oak trees in all of Cape May that got destroyed during construction right near the tennis courts there that had to get removed after the 2 houses were built, where there was 1 house originally. And the tree was literally, probably 36-inch diameter DBH oak tree that was 2 feet from the foundation of the house. So the house should not have been built there, or the tree should have been removed prior to construction. It was just a silly situation, because then they had to remove the tree after the fact, and there's 2 new houses there. So it seemed like there was no one from no one really ground truth. I can't imagine someone would go there and looked at that and saw the tree and said, yeah, we're gonna put a house right there. So I guess they probably looked at the paperwork, said the setbacks are met, it's fine, the house can go in. So, I mean, communication between the boards would probably be really important. I know in West Cape May, they're required, I do volunteer on the Shade Tree Commission in West Cape May, and we have to get a tree inventory prior to anything happening. That's before any construction, demolition, building, anything. So the trees are mapped on the property, and then we see where they want to put the house and driveways and things like that. And then you look at that and you're like, oh, this won't work. And then maybe you can talk to the contractor, maybe you can shift the driveway over, things like that. Maybe they won't, and in that case, then the tree obviously needs to come down and all the replacement stuff needs to happen. But I just, like, once again, talking to Mickey, who's a consultant arborist, he says a lot of this stuff's avoidable, and it has to be done before anything's done during construction.
We didn't have the tree zone for construction
Right.
back then. That driveway should have never been put there. And not to mention the construction that's probably been driving over it, but we have had that since then.
Yeah.
We have the tree zone, we have required construction barriers
And we
around the
do,
trees.
when we get the construction maps, the site plans, we do have the trees are existing, and we go to look at it. But that's certainly something we need to look into.
They don't always mark the trees on those plans. Sometimes you have to call.
Well, that's true.
You have to call
Yeah.
whoever's looking to build to find out what their intention is.
I think, is this a good time to talk about the watch list?
Yes. But I also, before we get off the subject of that property that you're mentioning, we lost 3 trees from that, because with all that construction going on, the silver maple at the one tree that got taken down last year, and now where those 2 beautiful ginkgos were, one is most likely not going to leaf out in the spring. It's been suffering, and and they were like 2 of the nicest ginkgos in the town. So definitely, construction is hugely impactful in a negative way, and they weren't protected at the time. So,
But I think we've seen the code enforcement team here.
oh yes, yeah.
Once you let them know, as you drive through your district, looking at some of these construction sites, once you inform the code guys that there's perhaps something that has to be corrected, they're
Oh,
very
yes,
quickly
absolutely.
responding.
Yeah. But like I said, we didn't have that ordinance before.
Yeah.
We didn't have the word. Lauren, is there a way you can ask Bill Miller if he can stop it? Now, during the meeting? Can you message him or something? No. That's okay. We'll just talk about it otherwise. If you find
But
it.
Shane, you were going to bring something
Yeah.
up about your watch list.
Well, I just want to bring up a concept to the commission that some of us have been discussing, which is something that we don't necessarily have to put into the code books, but it's a watch list. So we have some people that leave this commission unhappy with our ruling. So they say to themselves, well, I'm going to trim the heck out of it, So I think as commissioners, or as a body, or as even a community, we should look out for these type of trees. You know, if these people are gonna purposely damage the trees and we notice it, all it takes is one piece of paper. It's a list of trees that we've noticed have been abused, I'm gonna say, and potentially are gonna die because of it. And if we had just one list, you know, a year from now, I'm gonna say, I mentioned that tree, but there's no documentation that says,
Right.
we mentioned that tree, you know, and that tree had died because of the poor treatment of the tree. I just think it's something that it's an ongoing list we can consider if we feel like someone's purposely trying to avoid the whole
Following
purpose
our
of-
ordinance,
the whole purpose of
basically.
our
Yeah,
ordinances.
yeah,
Yep,
I agree.
So I have the first tree to go on that list.
I know the one you're talking about.
I think we all have some trees that can
Yeah.
go on.
1202 Illinois.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll start the list right now.
And I actually spoke to Bill Miller.
Oh, did you?
We
Yeah.
discussed that particular situation, so.
I'm gonna put it right on my folder. It's gonna be an ongoing list.
You're going to be the watcher of the watcher.
And what was the reason for that?
It was a large tree, and they said...
Large silver maple.
Yeah, and they said it was too close to the house, and it was going to fall on the house and kill their kids.
And so what did they do to the tree?
Well, then they dug a trench for the sewer line around the tree, and then they came back and they pruned the tree.
If you want to call it that.
They just kind of,
And then they came back the following day and cut it even more.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's about, they took
have-
off at least, the-
That's
Two-thirds
the
of the
one
tree.
I took those pictures in the pouring rain.
I remember that day.
And that's one you called.
That's why I was glad it wasn't my district. Yes. Yeah, but I did look at that.
I wonder if I have.
Well, Shane, that goes to that question that we have to come to some
That's what's
resolution
left of it, yeah.
Well, that was the first trimming.
of how we observe or how
That
we,
was, and then it got cut
I'm
more.
not going to use the word regulate, trimming
Oh, my
trees.
goodness.
You know, what's over trimming?
Oh, I saw it.
Is there a definition? I don't know.
There is.
There is?
Yeah.
How would you,
So I think, Shane, what you're getting at, a homeowner, unfortunately, a homeowner could probably cut the tree as much as they want, and there's not going to be enforcement there unless you can figure out a way to enforce that. If there's a contractor involved, as a contractor, we have, as a New Jersey licensed tree care operator, we have to prune the standards. So the company that did pruning, the homeowner hired that company. It comes down to the company. The homeowner's not going to be responsible. I mean,
So-
they hired a company, that company, if that person hired me to do that work, I wouldn't have done it because I could lose my license.
Right.
Or get written up. You get 3 strikes kind of thing, you can kind of pull
Exactly.
your license. So it comes down to the contractor. So, and we're set to pruning standards, which are set ANSI, American National Standards Institute,
did not know
ANSI
that.
standards.
Thank you.
So there's criteria. We're only allowed to prune X amount in a given year based on factors. So if Nels Johnson, who's our enforcement officer for Cape County, goes there, and he did go to that situation, he's going to write that tree company up. So if they get, they'll have a violation notice or multiple violation notice. He always asks to take photos of it happening
Right.
because it makes his job a lot easier of the work being done. He asked me questions on that, like how many people were on the job site, where they were in hard hats, the Dave Cohen's out. He can see the work they did, but taking pictures is big for him, for the enforcement.
Just have the truck.
Thanks, Matt.
But
I
it
did not
didn't-
know that.
I think it was tree
I didn't know
bark.
that either.
that
I
criteria?
don't know about homeowners, I mean, they could probably do what they want with their tree.
But they
Not-
can't kill it.
They shouldn't be able to kill it, no. That's the whole idea of us doing that, but
I don't want to hold you guys up, but
No.
I would say, hi, Lauren, I haven't met you yet. Currently, we're doing the tree work for the city, and what would be helpful for us is when people call in to the shade tree and to the commissioners, you have your designated areas, when that work order's given, and this was our first time doing it, so it was the first time I saw the list. There were some question marks I had on there, like, I'll give you one instance, one of the properties I pulled up to with my guys, there was one tree listed for work to be done on it, and there was 3 trees. And it was a corner property, so I was like, all right, are we doing Reading Avenue, or is it New Jersey Avenue, wherever the intersection was? So we ended up doing all 3 trees, but it didn't specify what trees, all 3 trees need to be pruned. And then sometimes the species may be incorrect or not noted. That would be helpful so the more detail you can give Lauren to give me would be appreciated. So very specific instructions, because I could spend 3 hours on one tree, or I can spend 15 minutes, and it's a huge price difference. So the flip side for me, being an arborist on paper, there's probably, and I wish Mr. Gillenschwartz is here, there's a little bit of liability on me, and I don't know how that would work out being the city contractor for the time being, because if you tell me to do X, Y, and Z, and I see something else that's hazardous, I really can't let that go. And so if I can call you all on case by case, and Lauren forward me your contact, if I could call you up and say, look, I'm here, there's a hazardous broken limb that no one saw, I have the lift set up, we need to do this. I'm sure you'd probably be okay, it's not gonna add much time, and
Yeah.
I did that with
Did
George
that
on
with-
one case. I'm like, the neighbor across the street was freaking out about the broken limbs, some dead limbs in there. I'm like, look, it's gonna take me 15 more minutes. I'm like, set up the street. It made more sense economically for everything. So I guess there's case by case things that'll come up, and I'll probably reach out to you on occasion if I have questions.
I think we welcome that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
that's
We did the same thing with Ocean Street. Remember, there were the 2 pair, in Barbara, in your
Right.
district, 2 pair
Right.
street trees that were to be trimmed, and there was a neighboring pear tree.
Third pair tree.
Yeah, so we just did all 3,
Yeah.
at the same time.
That's-
And if you have any feedback for me to make it easier, please feel free, because Mr. Manier was doing the tree work forever for the city for a lot of years, and we've only done it for the 1 month now, and I'm probably operate a little different than he will, but, more information you give me, the better,
Absolutely.
yeah. Thank you.
Sounds
Thank you.
good. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay. Let me just get to the rest of the
Go
agenda.
to the consent agenda.
Well, first of all, with the consent agenda, I'd like to remove 450 West Perry. And that's my district. And I don't know what these other, 1129 Washington. That is the silver maple, is that correct? We looked at this before.
I did not look at Washington. I was going to, do you want to remove
I think I'd
1129?
rather go through these, instead of doing the whole consent agenda, I'd rather do each one at once.
Okay,
So
let's do
450
each one as it
West
is.
Perry.
Okay.
That's my district, so I'd like to comment on that. The tree at 450 West Perry is a sycamore. Frank McCloskey put that request in for its removal. But Matt took a look at that, and we reduced the crown substantially. So the tree,
That's the hollowed out
the
one?
hollow tree, but we've got plenty of hollow sycamores in the city.
Oh, yeah.
But as long as we keep the crown in check, the tree's able to remain at least for a while. We have one on Ocean Street. Is it Ocean? Yeah, on Ocean Street that's hollow for like 25 years. I mean, you could walk a little dog through the bottom of it, and it's still alive. We just reduce the crown periodically, and it keeps it going. So, would you like to make a motion
I
for?
would make a motion that we do not remove the tree at 450 West Perry Street.
Okay, but we have to word it positively.
I'll second
We have to
that
make a
when we get
motion
there.
to remove the tree. And then
Oh,
a yes
okay.
vote means to remove it, a no vote means to let it remain.
This is so confusing.
I know. Right, isn't that how it's supposed to be done?
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
that-
it's an
okay.
application for removal, so you go either approve or deny the application.
Okay,
Okay, so I make a motion to remove the tree at 450 West Perry Street.
I'll second that.
Okay. And so yes is for
Remove.
removing, and a no is for
Save it.
keeping.
yes, preserve it.
Okay.
There we go.
Now,
All right.
Double negatives.
we're getting there.
George A.
No.
The
We
vote-
explained it so much.
The vote is to approve or deny the application.
Right, so no.
No. Carol York, no. Barbara,
Well, I didn't really understand what we were discussing. There was no, I understand where it is, but there's no explanation on
The
there.
tree, this is a support tree that's somewhat hollowed out, but they trimmed the,
Okay.
Crown back,
on
so
it.
to
so
stabilize
they
it.
want to make a vote to deny the application because they think it's viable to keep.
Okay.
So would you approve the application to remove it or deny it?
I will approve the application.
Okay, so Barbara's a yes.
I didn't understand that part.
George W.,
No.
Joel,
No.
Jim,
No.
okay. Tree stays.
Okay. 1009 Cape May Avenue, that's
That's my
yours.
tree.
Yes.
Yes, and that's a small tree. It has a couple dead branches on it, but it's not a hazard, it's not in any danger. And I denied the request, and I said I would look at it in the spring and see what it,
I think that's a good.
yeah. And it's hard because it's losing its leaves now, so you can't tell, well, I can't
You
tell
can't
which are
assess
the
the
dead
health of it,
branches
yeah.
and which are the live ones, so,
Okay,
so,
so we'll revisit that in the spring.
okay,
So we
so,
need to put a motion
all
through
right,
on it.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the removal of the tree at 1009 Cape May Avenue. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
I can't second.
Okay.
George A.?
Oh, my God,
You're
no.
going no. Carol York, no.
Why am I missing this up?
Barbara?
Yes, we're gonna, are we, I'm trying to figure this out. We have nothing here. We only have addresses and so forth. Where are we doing about the application itself? In other words, if people come in and they want to, we're not having any explanation here.
Well, Carol just,
Is-
on the paper, we're not, but Carol just explained the situation with this particular
Why
tree.
aren't we all just approving, making application to have somebody go and take a look to see whether or not it's approved? I'm not following
I'm
that.
certain the commissioner, the district
I-
commissioner actually filled out the paperwork and got it into Lauren or Connie at the time, and she's actually commenting on it to bring it
Okay.
to a vote.
This is her district.
Okay,
Carol was commenting on the tree because it was her district. It's her recommendation that we keep the tree.
okay,
So the majority of the votes so far is that they do not want to remove the tree, so they voted no.
Because she's unsure of how it's going to leaf out in the spring. It's not a hazard, it's a small tree, and she said we would revisit it in the spring.
okay.
So the motion to remove the tree, if you say yes, the tree gets cut down now. If we say no, it remains, and we'll see how it is in the spring. So, is it Barbara's turn? to
It-
vote?
Then I
Barbara's
should probably take my answer back and say no, correct?
You can do that.
Okay.
So Barbara says no.
Okay.
George W.,
No.
Joel,
No.
Jim.
No.
Okay, tree stays.
1041 New York Avenue, that's you, Jim.
Yeah, this is just a revisit. It really wasn't, it was a trim request, it was not a removal. So
Okay,
I
fine.
want to be very clear about that. During my subsequent follow-up with the first instance of this, I met with the applicant homeowner, and then prior to speaking with him for this new trim request, I gave the information for Matt, and I gave him the information for ACE, the very nice representative who sat here and introduced herself to us with her colleague. And he appreciated that. But he had also did a follow-up correspondence to the chairman requesting the ability to override the utility aspect and the street tree trimming requisite. And I had my concerns because we spoke, George and I, we spoke about the improbability of such an action. I spoke to my colleague, and he thinks maybe there's something that can be worked, and that's perfectly fine, but it's out of my purview.
Right.
This would have to be by full commission.
Well, my concern, which we discussed, is the homeowner would just be able, according to the way it was worded, just be able to get any tree service that he wanted. And as long as it's a city tree, and we have Matt Notch employed as our city landscaper at this point, it would have to be done by him.
Correct.
So I don't know if the homeowner, wants to take it upon themselves to have, to pay for it. I don't know where we stand with that kind of thing.
He's willing to do that, but he wants to bring in his arborist who trims his quite nicely manicured crepe myrtles on his property.
We can't allow that on a street tree.
I-
It's
and-
gonna set
and-
a precedent, and it's not,
I'm in total agreement.
Yep.
But I told him I would give him every quarter, and I'm already 75 cents in.
Well, I think, first of all, I'm kind of surprised that ACE trimmed those trees, because they really aren't a huge tree, and that they're not interfering that much. They usually do the overhanging wires, so I'm kind of surprised that they did that. But at this point, I don't see, we can't allow a different person to do any kind of.
George, by ACE, you mean Atlantic?
Atlantic City Electric, yeah. Mhm. I don't think we can allow anybody else other than our own city landscaper to work on that.
So as I had stated in my email, I think this is non-actionable at this point, and we'll, he has the applicant has my information. If he needs to do a follow-up, I will stop what I'm doing and go visit him. I've offered nothing but respect and dignity
Right.
for this entire process.
I appreciate his concern for having trees and wanting them to be taken care of properly. Matt, maybe you can take a look at those trees at 1041 New York. They're crepe myrtle. I don't think there's a lot that needs to be done, but that's up to you to, make your own assessment and see what you think. I don't know. I don't remember. They may have been. They just kind of have a notch out of the top of them. No pun intended.
Oh. Very good. Yes, very good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is the tree planter, according to. He's very concerned about the actual date that has to be done, which he says is between
Yeah.
the last week of February and the first week. I mean, his passion is unparalleled.
Matt, maybe you can just sit up here for the rest of the time so that your voice is noted in case we ask any more questions for the minutes of our meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we'll move on from that.
So no action.
Oh,
No action?
so we have to make a motion on that.
No.
But I don't know why that's a,
No,
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 non-actionable. not
actionable.
okay. And it says, and it's underneath tree removal request, which I don't understand.
It's not a tree removal request.
It's
I
the-
think, yeah, I think it's,
It's in the wrong spot.
I think you should remove that from that removal list.
Yeah,
should there be a motion to do that?
Yes.
I
Carol.
recommend, George, if you want to remove this from the list of applications, I would make a motion. There should be a second, and a simple yea or nay should be fine.
Motion to remove 1041 New York Avenue from the tree removal request, as it is only a trim request.
second?
Second it.
Carol, will you do roll call?
Yep, I'll do roll call. George A.,
Yes.
Carol, yes. Barbara?
That's what I was just going to say. Is that what we're talking about? right
Yeah,
now?
because
to remove it.
it's only going to be trimmed, not removed.
A yes vote is to remove it from the list.
Was that?
A yes vote is to remove it from the list.
Okay.
Did you want to vote to remove
Okay,
it?
yes,
Okay.
Yes.
thank you.
George W.,
Yes.
Keep up with all this.
Joel,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Okay.
1129 Washington Street. Joel, that's your district. I think you looked at that before. It is your district, correct?
Yes. Yes.
I know, I looked at that too. That's that silver maple.
Yes.
Here, let me double check, guys. Hold on, I have everything here. You said 1129?
Excuse me?
You said, okay. Here, let me pull it up.
What was the address on that?
1129 Washington. And we had discussed this tree before, and at the time we discussed it, we said that it would be, I believe it was Carol Sick, and you, Carol, brought up that it was covered with vines, and we should have the vines removed,
No,
and then,
that's 1155. Is this the one where there's the shared driveway
maybe that is it now.
with the lady that was going to have knee surgery and?
Is that 1129?
Oh, that's the sycamore tree, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right in the
I don't-
curb cut, kind of be, where there's, the driveway could be.
Yeah, is it?
Oh,
They have to
the big,
Yeah.
oh, that one?
They have
Oh,
to
yeah.
drive
I
around.
don't
I
know
think
why
she
that's
came,
back.
she came in here like twice,
Denied.
right? Didn't she come in here like
That
twice
was
to do
denied
that?
before.
Before, in
She had come in
September.
So that should be removed from the, that should be removed from the agenda,
Okay, so I'll
because
make
we
a
already
motion to
voted on
remove
it.
Yeah,
29.
I remember distinctly
Yeah,
that it was a continuous
yeah,
occurrence.
I'll make a motion to remove it from the list.
yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
They're removing this
Yes,
from
I
the
want
list.
to keep it, absolutely.
Okay. George? Ed?
Yes.
Carol, yes. Barb?
Yes,
George W.?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay, it removes from the list.
Okay, 1422 Missouri Avenue. It says front of home between sidewalk and street.
Yes, okay, so I submitted a request in September to remove that tree. It is dead.
Okay.
And then the homeowner submitted a request last week saying it was dead. And trust me, it is dead.
I believe you.
Did you give her CPR?
It's beyond salvage.
All right, so we'll entertain a motion to remove that tree then.
I'll make a motion to remove the tree at 1422 Missouri Avenue.
So seconded?
Okay, 1422. George?
Yes.
Carol, yes. Barb?
approve, yes.
George W.?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay, tree goes. Okay. 1049.
1049 Ohio, that's you too?
That's me.
You've been
That's a
busy.
trim request. It's
See,
not,
I don't know, we have to get these,
it's not a.
and I'm looking now at the 1129 Washington. That's a trim request on here. Scott Gibbs.
Oh, so 1129 is not.
Is not
that.
is not the
It's
same,
not the same, the lady with the
no, with the parking situation.
parking situation.
So this is a trim request at 1129 Washington.
So 1049 Ohio, it's a, I believe Atlantic City Electric has to do it because the homeowner is concerned that the branches are around the service wire that leads into the house.
Okay.
It's a pretty big tree, and I don't know, Matt, whether you would trim it or whether Atlantic City Electric needs to do it.
That's,
Lanxey Electric, if it's within 10 feet. That Sycamore is 1131 Washington Street, the one that.
Where the driveway.
The one
Yeah.
that was requested for removal. I'm just looking at
Yeah.
maps.
What's it,
1129
where the,
is on
where
the
the
side of
driveway,
it.
Oh, that, so this is next
I
door.
knew that
Next
didn't
door,
sound right, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And there are
Pull it up on
trees in
Google
front of that house.
And what are they, Sycamore? You have the map there.
Yes. I'd say they were,
Or
I
is it-
think so.
yes.
Don't quote me on that.
So that's got to be separated.
So should we refer 1049 Ohio to Atlantic City Electric?
Yes.
Sorry, Carol, you asked me about clearing around electric lines. Or if there are primary electric lines, which are considered usually along the streets from pole to pole, and there are pole to poles between some houses in town here, and you'll see them. So if it's a power pole to a power pole, the electric company has to clear the electric lines. If it's pole to house, they're considered your house utilities or house drops.
Okay,
they will not clear those, so a private contractor can clear electric lines to your house.
I think they might be both.
Yeah, so we can clear from pole to house, we can't clear between pole to pole.
Right, there are
Nor
some-
do we really want to.
Right, yeah, because the ones that are overhanging the driveway are pole to house, but there's some that are going that way,
Yeah,
pole to pole.
pole to pole, no, pole to house, yes,
Okay, so you can do pole to house.
which is 90% of
Okay,
the stuff too,
okay.
that we do. Or we call the electric company and they send Asplund or whoever their contractor is.
Okay. So do we need a motion to remove?
Well, we need a
1049
motion
from-
to, yes,
All right, so
although these are all trimmed.
I'll make a motion to remove 1049 from the removal request. Do I have a second?
second.
Okay. George A.
Yes.
Carol, yes. Barb?
To remove this from the,
Ohio, are we back to Ohio now?
Was that a yes?
I'll say no.
No? Okay.
Does Matt, are you in agreement?
George?
We were talking about electrical wires?
George, you.
George W.
To remove that from the,
Yes,
Yes.
sorry.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay. The request is removed from the removals.
all right, we have a number of things here. 215 Heritage Triangle, that's a property that is in my district, I checked it out. They wanted to remove a number of Japanese black pine trees. There's one that is very difficult to tell whether it's even on their property or if it's on the neighboring property. But out of those, I went tree by tree and emailed Lauren and Connie at the time, too, just exactly which trees should remain and which ones should be, they can take out if they want to. There's no reason to take the trees out. They're not a hazard, they're sturdy looking, and they wanted to redo the landscaping, and I just think they can enhance between the trees rather than removing all those trees. It was something like 10 trees, including one of them which was a cedar, not a pine. So
is that behind,
that's,
behind Western Nail area? Where is that?
yeah, the Heritage Triangle's behind there, yeah, where the diner is back in there,
Okay.
yeah. But there's quite, like I said, I think it was 10 or 11 trees.
That area has
That's
some
a
really
while ago.
great,
Pine trees, I know,
Yeah.
they're cool. So that's 215 Heritage. So, do we have to vote on all these, I guess?
Yep. So make a motion to remove
No,
the,
oh, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
to remove the trees at 215 Heritage Triangle.
I second.
George A.
No.
motion is to remove.
York, no. Barbara,
Yes?
You want to remove those?
you want, Barbara says, let them go. George W.
No.
Joel,
No.
Jim,
No.
tree stays.
404 Clay Street. Whose district is that? Did I look at that one? No. Is that your district, Joel?
Oh, here we
Clay
go.
Street.
Yes, it is. Here, let me double check this real quick. I have it right here.
Done with this. This is a trim thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me see.
I don't, I'm looking through it, I don't have an application.
Oh, yeah, so I inspected this property. The tree is very much dead. It's not in the way, it's not close to the city or won't affect it at all. it's an area typically affected by strong winds, and if it falls due to weakness, since it's dead, it could damage the homeowner's garage. I can provide some pictures real quick if you guys would like to look at it.
I just came
But
across.
I messaged
it's-
Connie that it's dead, and I would approve of its removal.
And that's this pine tree that we're referring to. I just
Yeah.
found this application. Oh, it's definitely dead.
Yeah, it's dead.
I'll pass the photos around.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I have I have the other photos right here if you guys want color, if that's not color. But
I think they are in color.
dark color, okay.
They are in color, yep.
Nice. But yeah, it's dead. It's unlike the other trees around it. In that area, they specifically have strong winds, like I noted, and the garage is closed. If it falls, it becomes a problem for their insurance and other things. So, yeah, and it's not in the way of the city or affecting it. It's in their own
Barbara, there's
private
photos
property.
in the back of this if you want to see.
Okay, so
So,
I'll
who would,
make a motion
sure.
to remove the tree at 404 Clay Street.
Second, someone?
So seconded.
Okay, George?
This is you, right?
Yes.
You don't need to look at it.
Yes. Barbara?
Yes.
George W.?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Tree goes.
Okay. Next up is 1330 Ohio.
Oh, no, 1701,
1701
New York.
New York.
that's in my district.
I don't,
No, you're good. Thank you.
you took one off.
Right here.
I see, I don't have the same thing that you have. That's not on my list, 1701 New York.
Oh,
I have 1330.
well, you just inserted.
I have 1701.
Clay Street.
I'll do that now. 1701
New York Avenue.
New York.
That's in my district. I did the follow-up, executed document, let's see, to approve, yeah, the removal of 2 trees is, yes. Yeah, the trees are,
Here they are.
the roots are dislocated due to wind. They are blown over. They're shallow root trees, coniferous trees.
Yeah, there's cedar.
Yes.
See them here.
They're not,
Oh,
they're bent over. There's nothing straight up and down about these trees. And to
George, you want to
the
photo?
point of the applicant, this property is inundated with vegetation.
I see that, yeah.
He's making a request that he be exempt from replanting trees. However, in an effort to
This is
remedy
We're Ohio Avenue, correct?
his request, I'm going to make a recommendation for 2 trees per removal at the old rate of $200 per, for a total of $800 for remedy of replacement trees, for our tree bank.
The tree bank.
Yes. So that's a longer recommendation, but I can make a motion of that in the same
Okay.
breath. Okay. I move that we approve the applicant's application with the caveat that the 2 trees that are being removed, that it's 2 trees per, for a total of $800 to go into the tree bank.
Seconded.
okay. George A.
Yes.
Thank you.
York, yes. Barb?
Yes.
Yes. George W.
Yes.
Joel?
I just want to give,
Yes.
excuse me, I'm
Tree
sorry.
goes.
I want to give a point of order. The tree bank is not law yet. So we have to get some legal advice whether we can
hit them up for the money?
Hit them up for the money.
Could we put it to an escrow?
No, I don't think so.
We did
I
have a
think-
$200 amount, though, in place. I'm going with the old amount, I'm not going for the, we did have a $200, Connie worked up something. It was a preliminary writ, I admit, but there was a $200 amount.
And we did have the 2-for-1 tree replacement clause. So I
If you don't want to call it a tree bank, I can rephrase my motion.
guess we can do it that way. What do you think?
I'm just thinking about the one tree that was approved by the city manager's office for $1,000. I don't know where that money's sitting around either.
So should we just say we'll approve the removal with replacement clause to follow at a future date? I don't know if we can do
Ooh,
that.
I would,
see that
That's
fall?
hard.
I was suggesting postpone
Postpone the ruling.
the
Postpone
ruling
vote?
until after it becomes law.
Does it need to be done expediently? I mean, is there any necessity of that? Are they posing a danger?
He did it, in his exemption letter, he had requested some alacrity. Yes.
And I think the solicitor said the ordinance would be in effect until the beginning
Right,
of
at least, yeah.
2026, so that's not going to be quick.
I think, but
Give it to the city can collect the money and put it into a designated account for the shade tree.
I think we could do that as long as the applicant's willing to cooperate.
Yeah, I mean, this is subject to a likely appeal. We haven't advised him of anything yet, obviously, because, well, we're still caught up in the vote, but once we get past the vote, there may be an appeal.
I know. I don't know if Connie would have the copies of the old wording of that.
Let's see.
I say we'll move along with this. If we have to change the vote in the future, we'll have to do that.
We'll
To revisit, okay.
Okay.
All right, so we'll vote on
Agreed.
it.
I think we're,
Jim, could you rephrase that minus the tree bank?
Tree bank, and where's the designation then? Just because it just.
Go into the general, to the shade tree fund.
Oh, Shade Tree Fund, we have a fund? Oh.
In our budget.
jump on that. I like
Budget,
that.
yeah.
into our budget.
Yes.
Okay,
It goes to our budget.
I move that we accept the applicant's application to remove the 2 cedar trees with
We
the,
just want to amend the current,
he just told me to
Yeah.
actually rephrase.
Yeah,
oh,
because we had to rephrase it, so the tree bank.
I was halfway
Go
done.
ahead, yeah, go ahead.
With the caveat that the $800 of replacement goes into the general Shade Tree Fund.
I'll second that.
okay.
Revised.
George A.
Yes.
York, yes.
That was a
Barbara,
long one.
Yes.
George W.
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
okay.
1105 St. James Place.
Oh.
Joel, that's yours. Did you check that out, too?
Oh.
I checked it out.
What happened at
Okay.
15:30?
Right. Here, let me,
We'll go
I
back.
have it, my phone's right here. You said you checked it out?
I did check it out.
Okay.
Do you have an application on that?
Yeah, so it's a dead crabapple tree. The crown is about 90% dead, and the applicant said that it's been like that for quite a while. So there's no sense in trying to preserve something that's already dead, so I believe it should come out.
So I make a motion to approve the removal of the tree at 1105 St. James Place. George A.,
We didn't get a second.
oh,
Second.
George A.
Yes.
York, yes. Barbara,
Yes.
George W.,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
tree goes.
Okay.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Before we continue, though, I wish I had this piece of paper earlier. So did we approve the removal, the trimming? Yeah. Did we approve the trimming at 1009 Washington Street? Do we approve that, or what was that conclusion again?
We removed it because it said it was part of the tree removal request, and it's only a trimming. So we can approve that trimming.
Yeah, I
We
would,
don't really need to vote on a trimming.
yeah, I would like us to review that once
Yeah.
again so we can approve it.
But we don't have, and we really don't have to approve a
We,
trimming.
Right.
we're good?
Yeah.
It's only a trimming, not a cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
just
cool.
for the removals that we have to.
Okay, nice,
approve.
okay.
So
Appreciate
that'll
it, thank
just
you.
be, I'll give it to Lauren so that she puts it for Matt to take care of. All right, let's go back to 1330 Ohio.
Okay. I got this when I was out of town last week, and I just did a quick look at it, and I was going to go back today and do a closer look, but it looks like it's a shrub that takes up the whole front lawn. It's,
Seeing if there's a photo.
yeah, it's,
I don't have a photo of it.
I thought no, I don't have a photo. I have a photo.
They don't have a,
And I think it just needs to be, and it's only about 4 feet high.
Oh.
And it's about 8 feet wide, and it takes up their entire front lawn, and they said it's a fig tree.
oh, okay.
So I think maybe they can just trim it and
Yeah, you can cut a fig tree back to, you know,
do nothing.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that they'd want to do that, but that's,
Well-
currently, it's not probably
Yeah.
tree form anyway, according to your observations.
Yeah, so I would suggest that we,
So they don't want to cut it down, they just want to trim it?
no, they want to remove it,
Okay.
and I'm not
Do you know
sure.
do you know the caliper of it by any chance? Doesn't
No,
say
I
here.
have not, I just,
Well, let's
quick
table this
drive-by.
one then too, and we'll
Okay,
have
so
to
we'll
revisit
table
that next month
okay,
or at the next meeting. So that's 1330 Ohio.
all right.
Do I have a
so,
motion to table that?
I'll make a motion to table it,
Second.
okay. George A.
Yes.
York, yes. Preminger, Barbara,
Yes.
George W.,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
okay, tabled.
Moving on, 600 Reading Avenue.
That's me. So this is a beautiful holly tree on the corner, and the application said that it drops
Your
sharp
application's
leaves, and
correct.
it's hard for the
Everything is
dog
correct.
to walk around
And
in the
make an
grass.
application
and the
and
kids.
approve their application.
They're looking at the photos now,
That's what
so,
we're
Oh,
going
well,
to vote on.
the holly tree?
yeah.
Yeah. Here it is.
And that's an American holly, I'm pretty sure.
And
It's
it's-
not even hybrid. I can see that.
It's,
Oh, that's the grass.
yeah, that's the grass.
Nice big tree.
It's a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning?
Want to do?
Sharp
They wanna
leaves, and
cut
the
it
dog and grandchildren
Why?
walk on it. We had this
tell you in a minute.
situation before.
Sharp leaves make the yard off-limits for our family's dogs and grandchildren. It is also too close to our front porch, and that's not true. And with an increase in severe storms, we're concerned about it falling down and damaging the house. It's
Well, if
probably
it's-
going to last longer than we will.
And if it's not close to the house, the chances of it damaging the house are pretty slim. I mean, they can trim it back if they want, but there's really no, from the shape of it, I wouldn't even bother trimming that
No,
tree.
it's a beautiful shape. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful tree.
So we'll make a motion to approve the removal. A yes vote means that it would be approved. No means the tree would stay,
Okay, I'll make a motion.
to remove it.
to
Second.
remove it.
Okay?
Okay. George A.,
No.
York, no. Barbara,
No.
what was that?
No.
No, thank you. George W.,
No.
Joel? No. Jim?
No.
Tree stays.
1131 Washington Street. I was out and about, I was doing a little pruning, and I checked this one out. I don't know whether you did or not, to weigh in on that. Joel?
Here, 1131?
Yeah. I have photos of it here. You can pass this down. I stopped to see it. It's a large silver maple. I mean, it's really large. And it's kind of interesting because it's got its own little ecosystem going on inside the hollow space of the trunk. It's got 2 sumac trees and a bunch of vines growing out of the center of this tree. And as interesting looking as it is, it's not a candidate for preservation, in my opinion. It's really, I mean, I'd say 3/4 of that trunk is gone, and it's kind of, the only side that's still living of the trunk is facing the house. So I think that should be, my opinion is it should be removed. We should approve that. So, does anyone have any input or questions?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Hollow. Hollow, it's completely rotted out.
Is that tree in the backyard?
Yeah. In fact, it's next to the tree where the parking situation is, the house.
Is the
next.
house next to it?
Barbara, could you pass that over to Joelle to see?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
I believe it's the same house with the parking situation.
No, the house with the parking doesn't have a tree in back. This is right next to it.
1131.
Let's make a motion.
Yeah.
Let's make a motion on this.
So,
I
Carol, would
thought
you
you
like to?
made a motion.
Yeah, it's,
No,
I second.
no, we didn't, not for this one. So my recommendation is to remove that tree at
Okay, so I'll
11:30.
make a motion to remove the tree at 1131 Washington Street.
Right?
I second.
That's okay.
Joelle, second.
Joel seconded. Okay, George A.?
Yes.
York, yes. Barbara?
Yes.
George W.?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Tree goes.
1040 New York Avenue.
That's my district. This is an interesting situation.
This is
In-
the revisiting of what?
Oh,
We
yes,
visited- We
July-
did this before.
July 10th, it went from Karen Keenan's office, land use, over to me. I had denied the application, and we voted on it with due diligence.
This is, and they're building the garage.
They rescinded any appeal at all. It just went away. And then all of a sudden, there was a request, I'd say, within the last 10 days. I inspected it. It's new construction going on there. It appears that a garage the frame has already been built up and the siding. And it seems to be an overstated risk or structure that is being introduced that wasn't to the original plans. And it's buttressing right up against this tree, which I found to be beautiful initially. And they're hacking away at the tree. And I put some pictures in with Connie and Lauren. But it's a shame what's happening over there. With that being said, in my application for commissioner comments, I had requested that this go back to Karen Keenan's office and let land use set their eyes on it before I go further.
Now, Jim, was there a tree protection zone set up around
The
that
tree
tree?
protection is set up around the base, but certainly not around the canopy.
Okay.
Jim, is this the tree that Dave Schultz came and spoke about?
Correct.
Well, they worded it as the tree is encroaching on the garage, and it's really the garage is encroaching on the tree.
But the garage wasn't there.
Yes.
It's the opposite way around.
Do we have an application on this?
Yeah, it's going out that way, isn't it?
Very nice.
And in addition, there are,
Pass that back.
Yeah.
and in addition, there are requests that, to remove the tree because there are brand-new mechanical and electrical concerns for a new pool, which was not in the original land use application.
Right.
Another reason why I want land use to put their eyes on it before I get it.
Right.
Is this a zoning board request?
No, it came right to me this time. This is in the back door, if you excuse the phrase there. So I don't know if I have to make a motion for that, or just,
I think you have to make a motion that we're going to forward this to, we're going to table the request and forward it to land use
okay.
and revisit. No?
Should probably go to the zoning and planning official.
Okay, well,
They're the ones that inspect the construction.
okay. So then
Okay,
you can do that.
motion that this that this application be forwarded to the proper agency for their review before we do anything actionable.
Would you be willing to add to your motion that you see the tree is healthy and viable, and we should keep it?
No, not at this time, because I want to go the other way first.
Okay.
I want this to go through the front door, is what I'm saying. I don't think I'm going to comment on the quality of the tree until it actually is in my purview.
What type of tree is this, George?
It's a mulberry.
Thank you. I
It's an
didn't need
interesting
to know.
growth pattern. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool-looking tree.
It is a cool looking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we went through this full discussion before, so we're revisiting. Did you finish your motion?
did.
Okay, did someone second it?
I'll second it.
Okay,
George A.
yes.
York, yes. Barbara?
Yes.
George W.
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay. Tree gets
To
stay of
Zoning
execution.
official.
Yeah.
Tabled and goes to zoning and planning.
Cool.
All right. Well, we didn't do a consent agenda, so we're on to number 7, old business. Anybody have anything they would like to bring up as far as old business?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Go
I'm sorry.
ahead. Go first.
1317 New York Avenue. I got a request from acting chair just today, went out, inspected. We also inspected, I also inspected on August 10th. They removed 2 pretty large trees in the backyard at 1317 New York Ave. And I only forwarded pictures to George and George. But there's nothing more to see at this point, but maybe at this point, I'm going to ask if there is a status from,
Well, and they had no application for those removals?
no, absolutely not. And and I spoke to Bill Miller on August 12th, and he said he was going to speak to the applicant. And the applicant is very, very cognizant and is aware that there are repercussions to his actions.
Okay.
So I just, I would like to know that.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Bill, 1317.
What size trees were these? You said large.
Yeah, well, only judging on.
By the mulch area,
Yeah, yeah.
because
the
there's
mulch area,
nothing
that's
left.
it. Yeah, I didn't know. And it was a request from a neighbor that apparently there was a New York Avenue squabble, so. But he's very, very aware that there may be repercussions, and he says he's willing to pay his punitive damages.
It's going to be, we'll have to figure out how we're going to determine the valuation of a tree that, unless they can provide us with photos of what was actually there. Do we have any idea who
You
the
have anything on
contractor
that,
was
Matt?
who,
Can you pick up that?
Can I do what?
Can you, on 1317 New York Avenue, on your application, do you have any way to see what the trees were there?
I can look at the site. Do you have a name on there? Is it Paul and Karen Havlin? Havlin?
Yes, yes, out of Florida.
did he offer the name of the company who took them down?
In the pictures that Connie forwarded to me, and in the first week of August, there was I think there was a company identified.
Okay,
Yeah, admittedly, by the time I got there, it was after the facts, and these are in the backyard.
Right.
So I wish
yeah.
I can't investigate with,
No, it isn't there.
there's no body.
No, exactly. But we'll have to speak with Bill again about this violation and ask him to see if he can get to who the contractor was, because the contractor should have known that they can't just remove a tree in Cape May. And if they don't know that, then that's another strike, one strike against them, so.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay.
Any other new?
I
oh,
had
yes.
old business, 1155 Washington Street. I think maybe it was in August or September, they submitted a request to remove the tree because it's going to damage their historical house.
Oh, yes.
And I think we were recommending that they,
We asked
Take the
DPW
vine.
to take the vines off.
and I don't think anything's happened.
I don't think so
I was
either.
just looking to follow up on.
Well, first of all, the tree it's an old silver maple, and it's not big. I mean, it's not tall.
No, it's only
It's got
10.
girth to it, but it's not, I don't know that there's any urgency to remove it at this point, but it's,
Probably, if, once we get all the vines off it.
Then we can better
probably
assess
should
it,
be
too.
removed,
Yeah.
Because it's,
yeah,
I don't think it's thriving.
no,
Okay,
no,
I was just looking for an update.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. Anyone else with old business? New business.
I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
We had, about a month ago, a little more, Mickey Riggins treat some of the tree of heaven around town with some herbicides. So this might be the time for us to look to get somebody to cut them down before it gets too late in the season.
Exactly, yeah. So, Matt, is that something you can do? Take down these tree of heavens? There's, how many are there,
I
Shane?
think there's 7 of them. There's a couple in a few people's backyard. We're going to use our lanternfly grant money for this. I'll give you all the information that you need.
Okay.
Locations. There's, I think there's 3 or 4 street trees. And one of them is right across the street from the bike shop on Elmira, that giant
It's a
one.
large one, yeah. And the other one on Stockton is,
We might need to get some coordination with the city of Cape May.
Do they have to be removed if the homeowners don't want them removed?
They're street trees.
Is that one at the
yeah,
jewelry store?
yeah.
Yeah, right across from the bike shop.
I'm familiar with it. It's set back a little bit, though.
It is.
I don't think so. It's right there.
Well, it's set back from the intersection on the verge. It's still in,
Still on the verge.
I'm just posing a question. If it falls on the property line, it becomes a common or boundary tree, so they would have sort of dual ownership there. And since it's a large tree, they might, just food for thought, you know, if they would like the tree for shade,
well, it's been poisoned.
has it?
Yeah, it's been treated,
It's dying.
so,
Well,
Treat it for the insects.
no, treated for the
Herbicide.
lantern.
herbicide. And there's a large one on Stockton, that was Stockton. That's
Pesticide
huge.
or herbicide?
Herbicide.
I'm sorry.
Pesticide or herbicide? Is it to control the spotted lanternflies, or is it to kill the tree?
Kill the tree.
Oh,
It's to remove the tree of heaven.
but it's not dead. The
Well,
tree?
Well, they just did this procedure, so it didn't kill it immediately. This was just done a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes for that to work. That's not in my realm of,
Who's doing treatments?
Mickey Riggins did it.
Arbor Care.
I'm curious, because if a tree's treated with a strong herbicide to kill it, then you're gonna have a tree that's dead and hazardous in a high-use area. That probably wouldn't be a good route to go,
Well, we want to get it cut down. We want them cut down.
right?
are we done with that topic?
I would think it'd be better just to cut the tree down and treat the stump.
Well, we may have to treat the stump afterward,
I-
depending on if you have,
That's why I was the question. I thought they were treating for the spotted lanternflies, not to kill the tree. No. Huh.
Just so you know, when some of the trees, a lot of the neighbors were very opposed to the pesticides because
Sure.
they may have some gardens around.
Yes.
That was the thinking.
There was significant opposition from the neighbors over spraying. That was one of the options we looked at early on how to treat the lanternfly infestation.
Is it injectable? Is he injecting the tree, or is he spraying?
That is my understanding.
yeah.
Yes.
I believe he makes
understanding is-
notches and then puts it in.
You know, my understanding,
Sorry.
Matt, there's no spraying involved, and that was the major concern of the neighborhood. Actually, all the neighbors, almost everybody we dealt with did not want to have any spraying.
All right. We have any more discussion on this? Okay,
Does anybody want to make a motion to hire it?
sure. Someone
I'll
a
make
motion.
that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll
Oh,
call.
Roll call.
Thought you were finished, huh?
I thought I was done. George?
Yes,
A.
yes.
York, yes. Barbara?
Yes.
George W.?
Yes.
Joelle?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Okay.
And Matt, I have a copy of the proposal It was accepted if
Okay,
you want it.
Thank you.
all right, new business.
I have something.
Okay.
We were, I talked to a homeowner on 1110 Virginia Avenue this morning. A new tree was put in front of his house, and he doesn't want the tree in front of his house.
Is that one we just planted?
Yep, he said it's a crimson maple, it's non-native, it's invasive, it's going to grow 40, 50 feet tall, and it's going to hit his power lines, and it's too near his sewer line. And he was concerned that why we're planting trees underneath electrical lines, when across the street there are no electrical lines, and the tree should be planted there.
Well, we're going to plant more. But let me explain something with the crimson maple. First of all, the crimson maple is a hybrid of the Norway maple, but the crimson maple does not grow anywhere nearly as quickly as a Norway maple. The crimson maple, I remember when I first started using them, they said it needs a lot of care and patience, because it does take a long time. We planted several on Washington Street nearly 20 years ago, and they still haven't reached the power lines. And they grow at a very, very slow rate compared to Norway maples. So I wouldn't be concerned about the power lines with that. And also, we trim around with power lines so many places throughout the city, and we prune around them. So does Atlantic City Electric.
And he
And-
also questioned why we plant trees if no one waters them and they die.
We have a watering program now.
Okay. So we're not moving his tree. He wants it removed.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't know whether you can remove it and,
we can remove it because it's a small one and it was just planted, so it's, but I feel like we just paid,
right,
to have it planted. It just, it's
So-
really the public right-of-way. Technically, it's not the
It's not.
homeowner's property. And, you have to, just like the sidewalk is not the homeowner's sidewalk, they have to maintain it.
right.
It's not theirs. So I don't want to
I'm
get
just the
into the.
messenger.
I know, I understand. I just feel like I don't know if we should get into the set of precedent about planting and removing and all that other kind of stuff,
And
you
he
know? and-
claims they were never asked.
No, they were never asked.
Yeah.
But was that one of the addresses that was on the list, Matt? What we tried to do was, Connie had sent a list where trees had been removed in the past. And what our past practice has been to try to maintain the tree canopy, we try to plant another tree wherever a tree was removed. And that's one of the reasons that tree was put there.
And his response to that was, there's never been a tree on his street that's been removed where they've replaced a tree.
Well, we have more funds now,
Well,
so we're going
that
to
was
be
his,
planting more trees.
he had an
Well, we
answer
did
for
look,
everything.
we did look at all of the sites. Matt looked at all of the sites. And I don't know, what is anybody else's opinion on this? About taking it out and moving it?
George, I think you should talk to the homeowner and explain to him what you just explained to us.
But if he's adamant that he doesn't want the tree,
Like you said, you don't want to start a precedence.
that's what I'm
I
thinking.
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can talk to him and tell him that, or he can watch it on here, but
I
think-
second that.
yeah.
George going up to them.
So,
I concur with your finding.
okay,
Okay.
so we're not going to do anything at this point.
No.
All right, any other new business? Anyone, because I have new
Were
business.
you going to call him, or do you want me to call him and tell him the tree stays?
I don't care, whatever you prefer, if he wants to talk to me about it too, I don't mind him
Okay. No,
talking to
I
two of
could
us.
call him and,
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
sure.
Flip side is, I know you're worried about making a precedence, but if the homeowner really does not want that tree there, they're absolutely not gonna take care of that tree, and they might do the complete opposite. So don't be surprised to see that tree dead in a short amount of time. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names. It's happened in town where trees been planted in front of places, and people haven't wanted them, and those trees have seriously died.
Yes.
So,
I've started the list. So what's the address again?
1110
1110 Virginia.
Virginia.
that's, I mean, that's just a reality, what's gonna happen. They're not gonna take the
They're not
time
gonna
to
take
care for that tree if they don't want that tree there.
They're going to
And-
weed whack the heck out of the bottom of it.
And I know you don't want to set precedents, but that tree was literally planted weeks ago, and it was in a pot, and it would take about 15 minutes to move. It's not like a large ball and burlap and a lot of labor, and I would donate the work to move that tree, because I have a feeling that tree's gonna die, so however you wanna move forward. I would gladly plant it across the street to see that tree live, because that's a nice tree. It's a very nice specimen.
If it dies, I mean,
Well, now we're going to have to, this,
I would go with Matt's recommendation.
all right, well, you'll have to put it into the form of a motion then,
I make a motion to go with Matt's recommendation
of,
of removing the tree from 1110 Virginia Avenue and moving it across the street.
I'm just making a comment, I can't make.
no, I know.
Yeah,
I think you make a good point.
it's just, I see it happening.
there's a like, not punishment, but there's like a result if the tree dies, right? Due to the homeowner's,
If we can prove that the homeowner did it, yes,
Good luck there.
but that's,
I mean, like,
I mean, pour Roundup around it or whatever.
Second.
Okay,
You had a second? Yes.
yep.
Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote.
George A.,
No.
Carol York, yes. Barbara?
Do you think that tree should be moved?
I'm sorry.
So we're voting on this tree that was just planted a couple weeks ago. The homeowner doesn't want it in front of their house. Matt said he's willing to move it across the street. So you say yes to that?
Good on
Yes.
that?
George W.?
No.
Joelle?
no.
Jim?
No.
I guess the tree stays.
Less
All
work
right,
for me.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, thanks, Matt.
Bail on him.
I have something to bring up. It came to my attention that a tree at 289, which was a street tree, 289 Windsor Avenue, was cut down by the homeowner with a chainsaw on a Sunday afternoon. And so I reported it to Bill Miller, and he was supposed to, he said he was going over to visit the site. I kind of wish he was here to comment on it, but that's going to be one that's considered a graver offense because it's a public holding. It's not just on private property. So it's a, oh, it's probably about 25 years. Yeah. Now, it was a pear, but it was a Chanticleer pear, which has a much stronger branching structure than the typical Bradford pears, you know. But regardless of what it was, it's the fact that, you know, that's like taking a sledgehammer and breaking apart the benches on the promenade. It's a public, you know, public entity, if you will.
It's also something that has to be pursued because that's not acceptable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my new business.
Wow. Boy, people are running amok.
Beware of chainsaws.
I have a quick thing I just want to add, and this is just out of the blue. A week ago today, a person who was driving their car with inattention went up onto my front lawn and took out my Rutgers dogwood tree.
Oh, wow.
And it's just, and it's only, maturation's only 2 years, but it's just, you know, well, there's a lot of texting that goes on my street. So I'm just bringing that to the attention. It's a tree, and so I'm going to replace it, but at the cost of about $850.
Wow. That's an insurance matter.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I'm not going there. I'm just going to
No,
write a
but the
check.
person who did it should.
It was a hit and run.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, subcommittee report.
Nothing to report.
Thank you.
Council report. Nothing. DPW, nothing. Public comments,
None.
nothing. I'll entertain a motion, unless you have something
No,
else.
just one real quick thing, and I'm probably the least qualified to bring this up, but I would just, without getting into any detail, I would like to acknowledge the formidable tenure of Jay for being the person that he was for this commission.
I agree to that,
Yep.
and I echo those sentiments completely.
We will address that.
Yes, we'll address that at a future meeting.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I can't do it.
No? Somebody want to make a motion?
I made a
Car-
motion.
Okay, Joel seconded.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are you two going to vote to adjourn?
Yes.
Done.
Thanks.
That was a long one.
Wow.